The Gamecube. A great little system from the end of the CRT TV era that had so much potential to it. So much potential that was locked behind a rare and rather expensive component cable for many, many years. That is until now. Because thanks to EON and some previous innovators, we have this nice little HDMI adapter for this wondrous little device. And yeah, I'm quite impressed by this. I've gotten to test it out. Works great, but let's just see what we got here. First, the box. I know it's rare I bring out packaging like this, but it's just cute that this is designed like a little GameCube. I do like it. And it even does warn you that you need a specific type of GameCube with a specific type of connection to use this. And that would be on the back, the one with the digital AV out. Not the standard AV out, but the digital. Need that one. And I believe the model number for this one, like this was the original version. I think it's the DOL 101. I'll double check that in. I'll put an annotation if I'm wrong. So, yeah. You'll see the actual number here somewhere. So, don't worry about that. But, yeah. It's a nice little system. And this wondrous little device will make it even better. So, first, we gotta plug it in. The analog AV out is a complete dummy port, so don't worry about that. It's just for stability's sake. But you just insert this, and you just keep going till you hear that little click. And then you know it's good. It's going to stay in there quite well. So, you got your HDMI port right here. And you got a little button to sync with a whatever remote you have handy. Universal will do old TV remote from a TV that doesn't work, like I'm using. So yeah, you got plenty of options. But what we see here won't tell you anything. We're going to have to get this on a TV and take a look at what we can do. So let's start off by talking about one of my favorite GameCube games, that being Metroid Prime. And yeah, we're going to start off by looking at a view from an RF signal because I don't have a composite connection or a way to record composite. So we're just going to have to put the camera up and record like that. Still, that helps show just how blurry this is on an RF or a composite signal. RF being the worst kind of signal out there. Very blurry, very dull, and an HD TV does not do it any favors. But once we get it on this EON HDMI, man, does it clear up. I mean, oh boy, that is beautiful. I love how this sharpens everything. And yeah, Metroid Prime does support progressive mode, and it works out quite well. A little bit of jaggies, that seems to be a case with every game that I've shown on this thing, but unfortunately that's nothing I can do about it. Still, I do like it. I really do enjoy this little setup here. And just for fun, let's compare this to the Metroid Trilogy version of Metroid Prime on the Wii, or in my case, the Wii U. And honestly, the visuals, aside from the widescreen support on the Trilogy version, look identical. I mean, there's hardly any difference. Yeah, the layout, the weapons is different because of the control scheme, but the way the visuals look, the gun, the scenery, everything else looks pretty much identical to the GameCube version, and I do appreciate that. So yeah, you're going to get a really high quality picture out of this. But yeah, before we go, let's take a look at a few other GameCube games, and we're actually going to compare them to the Wii, because, you know, the Wii can actually play these. Starting off with, say, Sonic Adventure 2, which actually supports a progressive scan, ironically enough. It looks good. I mean, like I said, there's a little bit of jaggies, but the quality is practically identical. And you're going to see this across the board. There are plenty of identical looks between the EON HDMI and Wii with component cables. So you may be asking me, why bother with the GameCube EON HDMI if I have a Wii? And the answer is, it's not about the GameCube games per se, but the GameCube's Game Boy player, because this gives you a really good way to play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, like, say, Sonic Advance. So we're going to put that on the RF. As you can see, very blurry. Tails here does not look all too great, nor does the background around him. But once we get this on the HDMI, it's going to look a lot sharper, a lot nicer. And yeah, I'm going to say it is awesome looking. And I am using the Game Boy interface to further clear everything up, but that's going to be a video onto itself, because yeah, this is going to be going on long enough as it is. So yeah, I do appreciate it. But you know, this is just right out of the box, and you do have options if you have a remote. So the EON HD can use any remote that you have handy. Any TV remote, it'll work just fine. The best options are to use like a spare TV remote. Just hit a button on the back of the device to bring up this menu, and then you can just sync it up with the up, down, left, right, enter, and back buttons of your remote of choice. It's a little tricky to get this to sync up though, because you have to get the remote very close to it, but it works. Now you have plenty of options as well. You can turn scan lines on if you're in 480p mode, or have the line doubler on for 480i mode. And the line doubler is kind of handy for those 480i games, although there are other options to get 480p looking items. But yeah, you can also change some settings on there. You got allow 480p mode, RGB limiter range, which yeah, they can affect some of the colors, but not by much. Not a real big deal. You want to keep enhanced DVI mode on at all times, because if you don't, the audio is not going to come on. But the display as 16:9 mode, that doesn't really do anything. It hasn't affected in any way for me, at least. Mode switch delay, I guess that's just for input delay if you want to put some artificial in there. Then you got modes for all input setting or output settings, like 240p, 480i. You know, you can really set it up as you see fit. So yeah, but it's pretty straightforward. And you know, all in all, it works for me. And you know, you can just go based off the regular settings and just plug it in, and you don't need to worry about anything. And yeah, you do got the information. You're version 2.3. So I don't know how to do any updates on this, so we're gonna have to just deal with what we got. In any case, as far as the HDMI and like the EON HDMI is concerned, I do highly recommend it. It is a great option to get the most out of your GameCube, And since using the Wii does require using a Wii remote, using a standard GameCube for GameCube games is a really good option, since you can skip a very annoying step. And yeah, that is hands down a really good reason. Again, Game Boy Advance games, playing those on the big screen is really good. And the Wii U does not have the entire library on the Virtual Console, so you're going to have plenty of games that you can't do on the Wii U anyway. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. So until then, goodbye out there, whatever you are.